Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that's often unseen. A quiet shadow behind Japan's calm and orderly society. It's not about temples, trains, or technology. It's about people who've disappeared from the world, not physically, but socially. The phenomenon known as Hikikomori. In Japanese, Hikikomori literally means to pull inward or to stay inside. It describes people who isolate themselves, sometimes for months, sometimes for years, rarely leaving their rooms, avoiding contact even with family. Estimates suggest that over 1 million people in Japan live this way today, but experts believe the real number could be much higher. And it's not only the young. There's another phrase, kodokushi, meaning lonely death and room-bound middle-aged men, often called kodomo heya oji-san, or men still living in their childhood rooms. It sounds tragic, but to understand it, we must look deeper into the culture that shaped it. Japan is a nation built on harmony. Wa. People learn from childhood to avoid conflict, to be considerate, to fit in. From school to the workplace, the message is clear. Don't stand out. Don't cause trouble. Don't be different. It creates a beautiful order, quiet trains, polite interactions, and peaceful cities. But that same harmony can become a cage. When someone struggles to keep up, when they fail an exam, lose a job, or simply can't find a place to belong, they often don't ask for help. They withdraw, silently. Because in Japan, asking for help can sometimes feel like causing meiwaku, trouble, for others. And being a burden is one of the deepest forms of shame. There's a quiet word in Japanese, gaman. It means to endure, to persevere, to hold in your feelings. It's considered a virtue. But when pain is never shared, it becomes isolation. And when isolation continues, it becomes identity. That's the heart of Hikikomori. Not laziness, not rebellion, but quiet despair that has no place to go. To understand this, imagine a young man in Tokyo. He was once a good student, obedient, quiet, but the pressure to succeed, the fear of failure, and the constant comparison to others slowly wore him down. When he couldn't meet expectations, he stopped showing up, at school, then at work. At first, he thought it would be temporary, but days turned into months and months into years. Now he's 35, still living in his parents' home, rarely leaving his room. Outside, the world moved on, but inside, time stopped. He's not alone. Across Japan, there are thousands like him, isolated yet invisible. But here's something most people outside Japan don't realize. Hikikomori is not just about the individual, it's also about the family. Parents often feel deep shame, so they hide it. Mothers quietly bring meals to the door, hoping one day their child will come out. Fathers avoid talking about it. Neighbors pretend not to notice. In a culture where social image matters deeply, silence becomes the rule. This creates a paradox. Everyone knows, yet no one speaks. Some psychologists describe hikikomori as a modern form of amai, the Japanese concept of emotional dependence. Amai isn't selfishness, it's the quiet desire to be accepted and protected unconditionally. In healthy relationships, amai creates warmth, but in a pressured society, it can turn into retreat. A longing to return to a space where you don't have to perform or prove your worth. In that sense, hikikomori is not a rejection of society, it's a plea for gentleness from it. Economically, the issue is becoming more urgent. Japan's aging population means many hikikomori are now in their 40s, 50s, even 60s, still relying on elderly parents. Experts call this the 80-50 problem. Parents in their 80s caring for children in their 50s. When the parents pass away, these individuals are left with no income, no skills, and no support network. A generation quietly vanishes within a room. But this problem isn't just Japan's. Similar patterns are now emerging in South Korea, Italy, and even the US. A world of digital connection has paradoxically made real connection harder. Social anxiety, perfectionism, and loneliness are becoming global epidemics. Japan just happens to be the mirror where the world can see it most clearly. And yet, there is hope. In recent years, small communities, NGOs, and re-engagement centers have appeared across Japan. They offer gentle social spaces, no pressure, no judgment, where hikikomori can slowly reconnect with others. Some start by exchanging letters, some by tending to gardens, some by cooking together once a week. It's not therapy, it's human warmth. One counselor described it beautifully. You can't pull someone out of isolation by force. you have to create a world gentle enough for them to want to return to. That's the heart of healing in Japan. Not confrontation, but compassion. If you look closely, you can see this philosophy reflected in the old wisdom of Zen. In stillness, the mind heals. Silence isn't always emptiness. Sometimes it's the soil where life begins again. And maybe that's where Japan's strength lies, in its ability to turn silence into reflection and loneliness into understanding. So the next time you see Japan's peaceful streets, remember, behind that harmony, there are also hearts quietly struggling. People who feel unseen, unheard, but not beyond hope, because even in silence, connection is possible. All it takes is kindness and the courage to notice. Thank you so much for listening. If this story moved you, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and remember, every culture has shadows, but even in the darkest corners, there is light. Until next time, stay kind, stay aware, and never underestimate the quiet battles people are fighting inside.